Well, here is an interesting thought. Remember all the freezing weather we had earlier this year? Well, it's been about 9 months since then, and now there is a baby boom. Yep, we'll let you make the connection right there. And you know, new parents are trying to save because babies, well, they're expensive. And this morning we have got financial expert Shane Sullivan here with us. You're with Valhaven Wealth, and you're here to help budget for a new baby. You're a father yourself.
Yes, I am.
So you know how pricey they can be.
I'm afraid so. I can tell you as a parent that the cost of raising a child can be overwhelming. A recent study by the Department of Agriculture found out that the average family spends $300,000 per child by the time they're 17 years old.
Wow.
That does not include college costs. And what's great about the study is that it's not just diapers and food and things you'd predict. When your wife gets pregnant, you're going to end up buying a bigger house. There's a lot of other little expenses that you might not be thinking about. So it can be expensive and you want to prepare.
Yeah, for sure. And you know, man, $300,000, that is a crazy amount. I'm sure there's a lot of people sitting out there saying, you know, the timing isn't right, we just haven't saved enough, but sometimes it just happens.
Well, you know what I would say, even if you're just thinking about having a family, you can get started now preparing. We put together about 3 ideas that I think anybody who's either pregnant now or thinking about raising their family can get started with.
All right.
1, start a baby budget. Of course, I sound like a broken record because I love budgets, but really you can go on our website at valhavenwealth.com. We have a little calculator there from the USDA that helps you calculate the predictable costs. Okay, it's going to be things that you can predict, like diapers and formula and all that. It's going to be a number and it can be scary, but let me encourage you, you're also going to save money in other places. I hate to tell you, you're not going to be going out to eat as much.
Yeah.
Okay, so, and if one of you decides to stay home, you'll be surprised at the amount of money you save on commuting, work clothes, dry cleaning, all those kind of expenses tend to go down.
Yeah, definitely a conversation. If one person, you know, you got to look at their salary. Well, if daycare is more than that.
Well, that's a very good point. If you are thinking about daycare is very expensive. And as we were talking about, there's even waiting lists now. So the demand is very, very high. You may have to have a tough decision. Does it make more financial sense for one of us to stay home and raise a child? Now, obviously, that's not just a financial decision, you know, but if you do decide to think about it, if you're thinking that way, I would encourage families to start test running it and try to live on one of the paychecks and just to make some tough budget decisions.
That's a good idea. Have we already jumped? You said number 1. Have we jumped ahead to number 2 yet?
Well, I would say that's number 2. I think you brought up a great point. And then 3, I always encourage people to save cash. You're going to have a lot more emergencies in your life. We encourage anyone to have about 3 to 6 months in cash on hand. But if you're thinking about families, that's just more emergencies to prepare for. You'd be surprised. So I encourage you to start saving. And while you're still both working, pay off any kind of silly debts.
All right, good advice. Thank you so much for coming in this morning.
Happy to be here.
Yeah, we'll have all of those tips on our website at kxan.com.